We've got Oklahoma State in the house. Coach Lutz, Parsifala, Robert Jennings. Guys, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, Coach Lutz, we're going to do a huge overreaction. And you get a win in an exhibition game, right? Everything's good to go and everything's fine, right?
Huge overreaction. That's a good way to say it. But, anytime that you're playing and you're playing another good team and you win, you've got to take the positives from that.
What were some of those positives that you took?
Well, obviously, we almost scored 100 points. So, we were able to score the ball more effectively this year. I thought that we did a good job rebounding. We out-rebounded them on the road. And, if you look into our team last year, we struggled on the road, especially in Big 12 play. So we were able to, I don't want to say overcome, but we were able to get a win on the road, which is a good start.
And we're talking about some of that offensive firepower in a second. Robert, you're the old guy, the vet now, coming back, right? What have you kind of seen from practice, from a chemistry standpoint, from the new guys?
Coming in, just a whole new team. So everybody coming in, I feel like we've gelled really well together. And like Coach said, just being able to go on the road and get a win, it really opened my eyes, because being able to be in the locker room and just see how we responded going into the half. It was a close game going into the half, so I told him when we walked in the locker room, like, we're going to go one way or another. This game is not over. We got another 20 minutes to play. And just to see us pull together and come out there and take the game plan that Coach has set and come out there and execute, like, I feel like that was the biggest thing, like, just the first step in a long season, in my opinion.
That was a really good, future coach's answer right there, actually. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, Rob's pretty polished.
Yeah, wow. Parsa, obviously transferred from Oregon State, 6'10". I would have absolutely, is he not six on a good day? I'm 6 foot depending on the day of the week.
Coach saying 6'8", but I'm 6'10", so I don't know what he's talking about.
Hey, you can be whatever you want to be, pal.
Yeah. I would have loved playing with someone like yourself, because you're a phenomenal screener. And the way that you post up when you duck in, it's just, you've got this huge bullseye and able to, any pass you throw in there feels like you're going to catch, you're going to go. How do you feel when you went through that recruiting process in the portal of your role with this Oklahoma State team?
Yeah, well, I know that Coach Lutz, he likes to play through his big. And when I talked to him, he had a vision for the team for the next year. And I obviously believe him, and I thought it's a right way for me. So, yeah, when I was talking to Coach Lutz, he was telling me how he's going to use his bigs, and the most importantly, I obviously need to get better every year, and I just thought Coach Lutz is a right fit for me to make me better as a post player.
It's not an exciting thing to say, but you might be the most underrated duck-in player in the country, watching on film. Coach Lutz, let's go back to some of that firepower, just from all the new faces. Obviously, you have, before he got hurt, Anthony Roy was leading the country in scoring. What did you like when you saw watching him on film?
Well, obviously he played down the road at Langston University and played on a team that should have or could have won the national title. And he was on a team with other good players, so it wasn't like he averaged, at Green Bay he was getting 25 a game, but, at Langston he wasn't getting that. He was a piece to the puzzle, and he fit within their team. And so I knew, and our staff felt like that, he could score the ball. He had come into Gallagher-Iba and hung 30 on us almost, and it wasn't like we weren't trying to guard him. So I knew he could put the ball in the basket, but then as you dug deeper into him, you found out that, he is a good team player and is about the right things. He's about winning.
All right, so for the next player I want to talk about, we'll do a little bit of film studies. You go ahead and pull up the film there. And Robert, you specifically, I'd like you to get your reaction to this. This is your team. This is going to be Isaiah Coleman. Okay, and this is, so if you go ahead and run it, it's one of the things I really enjoyed watching him on film. He's one of the better players in the country, I thought, in moving without the basketball. That's him, 21, on the right wing. If you go ahead and run it, he's going to come off an Iverson cut. And it's a good screen in action, but I like the fact that he just never stops moving. Iverson cut, ends up going backdoor. He's open. They missed him. Keeps coming off the pin down, the ball fake. Land on 2 feet, hit that mid-range kind of shot. I mean, Robert, have you seen that from him more in terms of moving out the basketball?
That's funny that you brought that up and said that he moves without the ball. in the Auburn scrimmage, I literally told him first assist to Zay was a backdoor cut, and Zay looked at me, and I said, I can make that pass. Like, keep moving. Like, I'm going to find you. And after that, like, it was like 2 or 3 more backdoor cuts, and it was just like he kept moving. Like, every time I would get to a spot, I would stop on 2 feet. I know Zay was going to cut. Like, and that's just one thing that speaks volume to his game. And then he's a super athlete. So when he cuts, he can play above the rim. He can finish at the rim. So, and then even getting open on the three-point line, he can knock down the open three. So that's a big part of his game.
Robert, you could take my job, man. That was a heck of an answer. That was really good. And we also want to make sure we open up questions to the media. Do we have any questions coming up from a media perspective? There were a couple other guys I did want to talk to you about. Coach Lutz, that's Kanye Clary. You got a point guard, 6 foot. I mean, what did you see from him?
Well, he obviously had done a great job when he was at Penn State, right? He played for Coach Rhodes, and he played for Micah Shrewsbury that I worked with when we were at Purdue together, and averaged, 14, 15, 16 a game in the Big Ten. So he knew he could score the basketball, but I also, I've always been extremely bullish on guys that are really fast, and he's got great speed and quickness. This year's team, I think he's going to have a little bit different role. I don't know that we need him to score 15 a game, but I try to tell he and Jalen Curry and Dan Guetta, like, I want you guys to lead the country in assist, because I think that we do have offensive firepower, and if he can keep the ball moving and he can get the guys the basketball in the right spots, we're going to be able to score the ball.
You just mentioned one of those guys, Jalen Curry. He was top 25 in the country in assist-to-turnover ratio last season. I mean, Parsa, playing with a guy like that's got to be enjoyable, right? A guy that can really kind of thread the needle on any possible angle.
Yeah, it is. We got great point guards on the team, and feeding the post, I think, is something like players need to look for it to be able to pass it. When you pass it, like, to three-point line, it's just usually when they open, but post, they always going to be a player on you. So if the point guards are looking for you to pass it, which I think our point guards, they're doing a great job, and it's really fun to play with them.
Do you ever get upset when they'll throw it in there? And I you know that I was going to ask that.
Parsa, you guys, y'all don't understand. I'm just going to say this as plainly as I can. He might be one of the best people I've ever met, and he is up here biting his tongue, because you're talking about what a great duck-in player he is, and he got 0 duck-in points against Auburn the other evening, and that's obviously got to be a point of emphasis moving forward, because he, Millie, and Makai, all 3 of those guys, we probably missed them on 12 or 13 occasions in transition where they've got the guy buried and they have an angle, and all they've got to do is deliver it and score it. So we've got to get better there, and Parsa's being nice. Good job, Parsa.
Guys, thank you so much for being here, and good luck this season.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
See you, Mike.